Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. Yes, hello there, I'm Phil, and we're back as welcome a return as Johnny Evans was to Man United. It's a real treat for everyone, I'm sure. I'm here with Anthony. How are you, mate?
Yes, mate, I'm good. I feel like I've aged about 10 years actually since we last did this. It's been so long, but other than that, I'm well, and it's good to be back.
Yeah, well, the Premier League doesn't have a winter break, but some of us need it. So,
Indeed,
and all the
indeed.
game weeks have been prolonged. There's barely been any football, so yeah, it's nice to have a winter break. But now we're back, and just before we came on, I said probably no need to go over last week's points, and you said, but actually I've done all right, so can we? So get it out your system, mate.
Well, that rare treat where I get some points, and because like a lot of people with injuries and with AFCON and the Asia Cup and everything, a lot of people struggling to field teams, and certainly that was the case for me. So I channeled my inner Michael Botto, and I went for a wild card. So I went early as soon as that wild card was available. I got that straight in, and it worked. So a lot of the players I brought in, mate, they got me some points. Can you believe?
Did you effectively decide, right, I need to copy Phil's team now?
Correct. No, there's no point copying you, is there? Because you're what? I'm very much the meat in the between the Botto Bats in terms of our league positions. You're about 50 points above me, and I'm about.
You don't want to be the meat in my baps. That is for sure.
No, I don't think anybody does, but yeah, there's a mental image you want to get out of your head all afternoon. Yeah. So anyway, about 50 points behind you, about 80 ahead of Mike. So a little bit in no man's land. So no point copying you, otherwise I'd never catch you. So I just went for it, and my back four was completely new for this game week. So I had Saliba, Estupiñán, Gabriel, and Pedro Porro. Good old Gabriel.
Okay, so hang on. So you're not copying me, but three of your back four were the same as me.
Merely a coincidence, my friend.
Who did you have in goal?
Areola.
Same as me. Cool.
Okay.
Great.
My midfield four, so Palmer, Gordon, Saka, and Foden. Do you have those as well?
Yeah, I had Palmer, and to be fair, I got Saka. I didn't even want him because he's been rubbish. But so many people were captaining him, and at the moment it's a bit weird because there's pretty much no premiums. You can just buy whoever you want. It's like when they do the Euros or the World Cup ones, and you get the chip that gives you you can have whoever you want for one game week. Unlimited funds or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much that. It's bonkers.
Yeah, it's true. But my issue is still like everyone else. Haaland, still over 50% of the players in the game have got him, and I'm still carrying him there, thinking and presuming he's going to be back soon. So, but yeah, I mean, if I sold him, goodness me, you could make some transfers. But I genuinely didn't copy your team. It was a happy coincidence. But yeah. I thought I did all right last week because I got 68 points, which pushed me up in our friends and family league, pushed me up overall 1.1 million now. So my aim is very much to get inside that top million, the heavy heights. And then I checked and I was like, oh, great, Phil still beat me. So, but not by much. What was it, 6 points, I believe?
I took a -4 as well, mate. So,
Oh, well, there you go. So, yeah, but anyway, fairly brief, but actually got some points. So happy days.
Oh, good on you. Good on you. Yeah. I don't know what's happened post, starting December, I kind of hit form. I was 3.2 million and now I'm 332K.
Wow.
So it's just gone a bit mad, but I've had a few good weeks, which, the start of the season, hideous. I didn't get out of the 3 millions until game week 11. So
this is a trend, though, my friend. So this is what season 4 now of the pod. I'm pretty sure the other 3 seasons, this is what happens. You start really slow, we're a little bit smug. Mike's doing his spreadsheets and thinking he knows everything. You're just sat in the background, seemingly doing rubbish and making some terrible decisions. And then we get to about November time, December time, Christmas time, poof, off you go, and we never see you again. And then, to be fair to you, you start making some pretty incredible early decisions, like Hwang. I do believe you were one of the very first to have him on the game.
Yeah. It's he had 0.2% ownership when I got Hwang.
Similar to me and Senesi, of course, who I did.
Amazing.
A bit. That was, I mean, without blowing my own trumpet there, 0.1% ownership on him, and then of course that was just before Bournemouth and he hit real form. So we do occasionally on this pod actually make some good decisions.
Unbelievable. He was the most informed defender on the whole game. Can you
Yeah.
after we mocked you so much?
You did mock me, but at that point, yeah, typical me. As you know, with my weak mind, I'd lost the plot. I thought, right, so I'm going for it. So I'm going to go 3 Bournemouth players, and I'm going to go for Senesi because not many people have got him. And then we beat, I think, Crystal Palace away, and he scored. And then we beat Man United away, and he won in that one as well. So, yeah, happy days.
Happy days indeed. So, like I said, at the moment, it's pretty much unlimited fun. Salah's got an injury, so he's going to be out for a while. Son is still going well in the Asian Cup, and Haaland broke his foot. By the sounds of it, it is a small fracture in his foot, so I can't see him coming. Well, I don't see the point in buying him back for all of those of us who have sold him
No,
until we
agreed.
see him appear on the bench. I don't think Pep's going to risk just chucking him straight into a game. I think he'll be come on, off the bench, and at that point, then you can look at him. City have got an incredible run coming up, including a double game week. So this is game week 22 coming up. It's a midweek game week, so tomorrow it starts Tuesday. The deadline is 6 o'clock in the UK. Tomorrow, and
Tomorrow,
then
yeah.
City have got here we go, Burnley at home, which is this game week, Brentford away, Everton at home, and then game week 25 they've got a double of Chelsea at home and Brentford at home. So 4 of their next 5 games are at home, and then after that they play Bournemouth away. So traditionally they score quite a few goals in that fixture as well. So
At least 5 or
Haaland,
6.
you'd expect Haaland back in the next 2 to 3 game weeks, I would suggest. So it's about stacking up City players for that period, perhaps. I mean, I got De Bruyne. I took a punt on De Bruyne last week, saw he was benched, took some abuse, and then he came on. I mean, that was
It
this
looked
last game week just
incredible.
gone.
Yeah, against
Yeah,
Newcastle, wasn't he? Just that the assist for Bob's goal, and then the goal for himself. Goodness me, you realise how good he's been, and that's terrible news for the title race. I know Liverpool 5 points ahead at the moment, but they've played a game more. But De Bruyne is like having basically a transfer, isn't it? Really, because they've missed him, and he looks incredible. So yeah, I mean, look at those fixtures of City; they are pretty damn good. And as you say, in terms of doubles, they're the only team I think other than Brentford doubling up at the moment. So Brentford.
yeah.
On that same game week have a double, but theirs is pretty horrific. That double for them is Liverpool and Manchester City.
Well, there's
So
a chance that Liverpool might have a double that week as well.
okay,
I believe there's a chance. It's not confirmed yet, but there's a chance they might also have a double that week. One of them being Brentford and one of them being someone else, obviously. So if you are looking to bring in or slowly build up to having 3 City assets for that double game week, or even just for this good fixture run, who have you got at the moment, and who would you look at getting?
Foden is who I've got at the moment, as is Haaland, and I'm sticking with both those at the moment. Foden's another one, isn't he, who does seem to be under the old Pep roulette a little bit, but he's in the points. If you look at 3 of the last 4 game weeks, 5, 8, 12. So he's definitely in the points, and he's played 90 minutes in all 5 the last Premier League game, so he feels like he's more in favour and feels like he's going to stay in there for a bit. But yeah, Foden for me. Haaland, I think if you've not got rid of him yet, you might as well keep hold of him. To be perfectly honest with you, if you can get by without, which with my team I can. I guess defensively with City, the only trouble is you wouldn't be looking at their defensive assets because they looked pretty solid against Spurs in the FA Cup at the weekend, but they do concede goals, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and you never know which one of their 1,800 defenders they're going to actually play. I mean,
It's true.
looking down the list of players they've got Stones, they've got Rico Lewis, who sometimes come in, Ruben Diaz, Guardiola, Akanji, who is a question mark about, and Ake and Walker. It's just a bit bonkers.
Again, Nathan Ake, actually, he's a man in form, and he has played, again, 90 minutes in each of the last 5 games, which is pretty surprising, you have to say, considering how much he rotates it. But 5 million, I think there's better options out there. So City have got good fixtures, we know that, but they do seem to be leaky.
So then are you thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to get a trio of City midfielders and maybe get like Foden, De Bruyne and Doku?
I think if it was going to be anyone, it'd be De Bruyne. You know, he looks so good, and people will very quickly jump on him. I mean, you did very well to get him in so quick. That was a good shout. Yeah, okay, he was benched, but when you can come off the bench and get a goal and assist, it doesn't really matter, does it? So he
No.
does look really good. So De Bruyne would be the one, but obviously he's going to be pricey. We know that. But he would be the one that I'd be looking for. But keep an eye on it. I think at the moment, yeah. So 10.6 million De Bruyne, but actually he's already got 20% ownership. So people haven't hung around, have they?
10.6?
He's 10.6 million, yeah, and that's insane, isn't it?
How much did I pay for him? I only bought him a couple of weeks ago.
Well, either you paid 10.6 million for him, mate, or he's gone up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Hmm.
He's definitely
Yeah.
10.6. I'm looking right now, yeah.
That's surprising. So yeah, wow, okay. That's
As
really
is the
weird.
fact that he's already got 20% ownership, which means a lot of people have immediately
Yeah.
jumped on that bandwagon.
He
Bear
was
in mind, he's played 21 minutes so far.
That's nuts. He was 10.2.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, he's gone up 0.4 that quickly. So there you go. So
That is bonkers. But I
if you're
suppose
going to get
that's
him in, get him
because
in
people have got
quickly.
unlimited funds and it's a bit
Wild cards
weird.
and no Son, no Salah. You know, if you're going to get him in, now's probably going to be the time. So yeah. Yeah, the only thing to point out, just going back to Liverpool and potentially having a double game week there coming up, they do have a free game, don't they? Afterwards, there's a
Yeah.
blank for them, so
Yeah.
that's just something to consider.
Game week 26, you've got Chelsea, Liverpool, Luton, and Spurs all have a blank. But during that period, those teams, I mean, Chelsea don't have great fixtures. Luton, who's by many Luton players, not really, but Spurs do have good fixtures.
Yeah.
They got Brentford at home, Everton away, Brighton at home, and Wolves at home. So 3 of them at home. We saw Mike on Saturday.
Yeah.
And he said he's already bought in Maddison.
Of course he has. Again, though, to be fair, again in his position, you got nothing to lose going early, because if he is going to come straight back into that team, which you'd sort of expect him to, that could be a potentially good shout. Good fixtures. Son's not around at the moment, and if he can go straight back into the form that he was in at the start of the season, then you've got a very good asset there, haven't you?
Yeah. And we're with Lewis, who's a Spurs fan, and he said, and I quote, that Spurs have got a Rolls Royce of a defender in Mickey van der Ven, who's 4.4 million on the game.
Well, if you remember, I was the only one out of us who had him when he was fit, and I remember he got about 15, 16 points one week away at Luton.
Yeah.
He was particularly brilliant. And unfortunately for me, he got injured around that time, and that's unfortunately for me as well when my team started going downhill. So yeah, once he is, back in that team consistently, then I'd be looking to bring him in as well. He's so cheap, like Lewis said, he was fantastic.
So if you're looking at Spurs assets, then Van der Ven is dirt cheap. I mean, at 4.4 million, that's really good. Spurs do concede goals, but the way that Spurs play, you wouldn't be surprised if he joined an attack and scored a goal. The big question, I suppose, is how soon are you bringing in Timo Werner?
It's the question everybody's asking when it comes to FPL, right?
He really impressed me against Man United. I thought he did really well.
He did, but yeah, he got an assist, I think, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to have to hit some real form to get me in my team. Based midfield, I'm pretty happy with. With my team currently, Bowen.
Well,
Gordon,
he's a striker
Saka,
on the game.
Foden.
Striker on the game.
My apologies, but okay.
No,
Well, even
fine.
then, I've got Big Dom still up there. He's obviously hit a very small Baron spare by him. Didn't score against Spurs or Liverpool, but I'm keeping faith with him and Ollie Watkins up front. Villa again, I've got good fixtures, so I'm not particularly looking for a striker. So yeah, no for me. Are you tempted? You going to join on that train?
I am tempted. I mean, I just looked at my team, and the thing is, I've got one free transfer this week. Sarabia is injured because I went Huang to Sarabia. It's a bit annoying. He's got me a couple of assists. He's done all right, but I've got 6 million in the bank, so I can bring back Haaland at some point. Darwin Núñez has been great these last couple of weeks, so I don't really want to shift him on. It's interesting seeing how the Liverpool forwards are doing without Salah, because they've all been in the goals. Gakpo missed an absolute sitter against Norwich, but Jota tempting. Diaz tempting and Nunes. I'm glad I've got him. He's happy. He looks confident again. So I'm really happy I've got Darwin Nunes. Ollie Notkins,
Ollie
he
Notkins?
he drives me nuts. He's just so
He is a
underwhelming.
trap. He
He's
can be a trap. He
uh,
most certainly can.
Whenever he's in my team, he plays like someone who's just trying football for the first time. You know,
Well,
he's got the same sort of first touch as Callum Wilson, and it's just like, oh come on, mate, come on,
yeah, he got 8 points against Burnley. So in his last 6, he got 8 against Burnley. He got 9 against Brentford. Other than that, he's on the twos cruise. So yeah, last season I think 3 times I brought him in. Every time he was useless. I'll tell you when Ollie Watkins is absolutely useless. When Villa have got a home banker. Bear in mind how good Villa's home form is. Every time they got a home banker on paper, I captain Ollie Watkins and he gets 2 points
yeah,
without fail. Newcastle this weekend at home. And
yeah.
obviously, we know Newcastle picked up a bit of form again. They won at Fulham in the FA Cup, but I'd be tempted normally, but I'm not going to fall for that trap again. But yeah, but he's obviously still a very, very popular player on the game. 55% of players now have got him. So yeah,
I've still got Cameron Archer just hovering around just for giggles, really.
mm.
And when you click on the information, his picture comes up on the FPL site, and his facial expression is saying, "I don't really know what I'm doing here either." He's just
He
he
scored a
just
beauty early in the season, didn't he? But yeah, I think there's a few people thinking that.
uh, yeah,
But yeah,
he's been my third sub for ages, but I've already got Trippier and Trent on my bench who I need to shoehorn into this team.
yeah,
So, yeah, I don't really know who I would drop, but Turbo Timo is the one I'd want to get in. It's weird that loan that he's done because he's
mm.
effectively been loaned in by Spurs just for when Son is, at the Asian Cup. Because when Son comes back, he'll just be bench fodder again.
It's a bit strange, isn't it? And well, he's going to have to really hit some form. Yeah, but even ultimately, even if he does, Son will come straight back into that team. But I guess from Spurs' point of view, they almost had nothing to lose and to cover it. But
Yeah. He
yeah,
strikes me as just a nice boy. Just, you know, come
well,
on,
bear in mind
team.
you normally put people in your team if they're A, nice, or B, have good hair. He certainly ticks one of those boxes. So it feels like a very Phil Botto transfer if you do go for it.
Yeah, it just seems like an utter waste of a transfer this week when I don't really, the
It's
player
frustrating.
I'd want to get rid of is Saka because I just don't think he's on good form. But he's playing Nottingham Forest, who they've turned it around a bit under Nuno Espirito Santo. But
Yeah, indeed.
yeah,
Under Santa, yeah. But again, he's a trap for me on the captain pick every time I captain him, and I preempted it this week as well. I told you before that I've made the wrong choice. You have captain Saka, and sure enough, he only got 3 points. So yeah,
I captained Estupinan because he was in the last game of the game week.
what a shout
I
that was.
didn't, I didn't even know who he was. I can't remember who he was playing, but
Wolves at home.
yeah. So and then I was listening to the game on the way back from playing five-a-side, and he got subbed off after about 65 minutes. So it's just clean sheet, but bonus points with him. It's just bonus points you get. He's always running and putting in crosses.
I
But
mean, I'd say
yeah, I don't know who
arguably.
to go on, mate.
I was just going to say, arguably, that was with him in my back four. That's one of the best overall points I've got from a back four before. That was pretty incredible. Everybody was in the points. Very unusual. But yeah, it's a good shout, Estupina. And I think, we've mentioned about this before. We very much don't take our FPL too seriously. And we do always try and, go different with our transfers, go different with our captain picks when they're not being picked by a listener. And
Yeah.
that was a really good shout. Because look, it comes off that and you get the extra points. And that's when you start making inroads into your overall position.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my captaincy is I've loved not having Haaland there because you can have a lot more fun with it. I think yeah, so I don't know who my captaincy has been most weeks. So I had a Stupinan, Captain Salah, very original Phil.
Well
Uh
done, Phil.
Son. But I mean Son's not always captained. Yeah, Salah. So effectively what I'm saying is I've made one bold move. Um all season. So well done, me. The captaincy this week is a bit tricky because
Mm.
the, annoyingly everything is on BT Sport or TNT as they're trying to rebadge it
Yeah,
now.
Yeah, certainly. Well, certainly all of the games on Wednesday and Thursday are, and then 2 on Tuesday night. Yeah.
But the problem I've got with that is I don't have that channel, and I'm not paying £30
No.
to have that channel. And the bigger problem is I like to captain someone who's in the last game of the game week.
Yep.
Now, on Thursday, you've got West Ham at home to Bournemouth. So Bowen is a potential captain here,
Yeah.
or Wolves at home to Man United.
Or Dominic Solanke. Would you be
Yeah.
tempted?
No, I don't own him because I try not to own Bournemouth
Oh,
players
okay.
because I don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
curse them.
It does go wrong when you own Bournemouth players. That's when we start losing. That's very true. Well,
But the
Wolves,
Route
Man
1
United, got any
fixture
assets?
this week, mate, is Wednesday, which, breaks the rule of the last day in the game week captaincy. But Wednesday, Man City are at home to Burnley.
Yeah, yeah. And who from your City assets would you be captaining there?
Well, I've only got De Bruyne currently, so it would be him.
Yeah, see, I'd be half tempted with Foden myself on that. But again, is he gonna? I know he's played the last 5, but Burnley at home. This is a classic game for Pep to rotate.
Yeah. The
Difficult
other
one.
option is that Chelsea, who have hit a bit of form, but they're away at Liverpool, and like I say, Nunez is,
Mate,
he's
how
doing
good
well.
how good were Liverpool in that second half against Bournemouth? Okay,
Yeah.
Bournemouth weren't brilliant, and we've got a lot of defensive injuries at the moment. But fair play to Liverpool; they showed why they're top of the league, and they absolutely tore us apart in that second half. And Nunez was a big part in that.
Oh,
Scored a couple of brilliant goals. So
what
yeah,
about
I think it's a great shout.
Jota with
Oh,
the
Jota as well.
I mean,
The
with
fact that
that dummy that he did
that
to
dummy,
set himself up for a goal. He assisted his own goal.
he probably made it look like he did by accident, but clearly, he's so good he did it deliberately, didn't he? Yeah, mate.
19 points he got against us. 19.
You won't be surprised to hear that the point when he did that was the point I left the pub in pure anger. But yeah, so yeah, Nunes is a great shout. He's on form. Chelsea, they've improved, but Palmer really the only asset there. We've both got him, but yeah, Liverpool at home, so strong at home as well. And I don't know, this whole Klopp announcement, we've not mentioned this yet, but Klopp
Yeah.
kind of catching quite a few people by surprise here, announcing he's going to be leaving at the end of the season. It feels like the stars are aligned for Liverpool to win the league this season. So if ever they were going to be galvanised by anything to get this over the line and beat City this season, it's going to be that, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, they keep saying, "Oh, they're still on for the quadruple." Well, yeah, because they're quite early on in most competitions, so
Mm.
that'll be why. I love the overhype that the media put on all
Oh, of
these
course.
quadruples now. But I can go because I've got 6 million in the bank because no Haaland, no Salah. You know, I could go Sarabia to Jota and
Oh,
just go.
I'd be all over that, my friend.
I mean, that just seems a bit fun, but it's just annoying. I won't be able to watch it. 7.9 million Jota.
Yeah, I'd be, yeah. Based
He's
on the Jota that
streaky.
we saw against Bournemouth, I would definitely be investing in that one.
Scored a good goal against Norwich as well. Not that you can take too much from that game, but
No, indeed, no. Yeah, that would be a good choice for me, Matt. I think.
the other
Should we have a
team
quick?
with
Sorry, go on.
good fixture run is
Mm.
Fulham. Now,
Yeah, they're
this
a funny old team this season, though, aren't they? You never know what you're going to get with them. They'll
they're
go on a
out of
run of
form at the moment.
yeah. So, but they had the successive 5-0 wins, and they're at home. I don't think you can rely on any Fulham asset. Yes, okay, yeah, you're right. Everton home, Burnley away, Bournemouth home, Villa home, Man United away, Brighton home, and then Wolves away. So some really good fixtures there. But okay, apart from my man Harry Wilson, who would you be looking at for Fulham?
I mean, again, it'd be a good news story. A bit of Raul Jimenez would be a real treat. 5.2 million. Archer can go. Jimenez in. Oh, it'd be beautiful. I have noticed that I don't really know what Marco Silva's doing because it's. Have you noticed what's going on?
No.
He's benching this guy.
That's outrageous.
He's been an unused sub for weeks and weeks and weeks. He played in the cup, but how's Tim Ream? How has a man of that stature suddenly ended up as bench fodder?
Yeah, well, he's not played. I'm just looking now. He has not played a single minute since they lost 4-3 away at Liverpool. So yeah.
What about
Hmm.
What about Leno? He gets a lot of he makes a lot of saves.
He does. He does. He's actually their highest scoring player with 73 points this season, which is
Oh
not
really?
19 ahead of anybody else in that Fulham squad, which is incredible. I think unfortunately that gives you an idea of how many shots he's having to face pretty much on a game basis. So bear in mind the other options there when he is what 4.8 million. Got
Yeah.
Areola there. You got Vicario of Spurs, who I've got. No, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I was hoping that I'd come onto this podcast and then afterwards I'd think, yep, I'll just leave my team as it is. But now I've got. I mean, Saka to Jota is actually more tempting than getting rid of Sarabia because Saka's just been so useless.
Yeah, he's a frustrating player, and mate, you've always said you've got to have fun with it. So do it. Let's face
But
it, we're never going to do really well in this, are we? So we might as well have a bit of fun with it while we're here.
who would you drop in this team? Okay, so
Okay, go for it.
I'd play a keeper. Don't really care. That's largely irrelevant. Then at the back, I've got. Oh gosh, I hadn't even spotted him. So Trippier is a question mark at the moment. He's groin injury, 75% chance of playing according to the game. So let's
Okay,
pretend that Trippier doesn't exist. At the back, I've got Saliba, Estupinan, Trent, and Porro.
okay, yep,
So midfield, I've got Saka, De Bruyne, Palmer, Bowen, and at the moment Jota. If I bought in Jota,
okay.
and then up front I'd have Watkins and Darwin, but I'd need to get rid of one of those players. I can't play
Based
4-5-2.
based based purely on fixtures, I'd go Palmer. We know he's been doing well. 10 points last game week for Chelsea. 28 points in fact actually over the last two. But Liverpool away, really. I think you got to play the fixture here, mate. He'd be first sub for me.
He's done well against big teams though. So he
Mm,
got 12 points away at Spurs, 6 points at home to City, 8 points away at Man United. He's not scared of playing the big teams, and
it's
he's on
tricky.
pens, isn't he? So you just never know.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean, Saliba's kind of the one I go to bench usually because he doesn't excite me, and Arsenal annoy me because of the Ramsdale thing. So
mm.
Saliba doesn't do what your man Angel Gabriel did the other week and score goals and get assists. Saliba, he gets a clean sheet. It's very rare. I don't know if he scored this season. Oh, he scored once this season and got one assist, which not amazing. Half the season's gone, so statistically, it's unlikely he's going to do that. So maybe Saliba and play more attacking, have five
Go for it.
midfielders.
Probably more fun to go for the attacking players, isn't it? So yeah.
What are your headaches this week?
Do you know what? I haven't really got one. I'm actually
Uh,
quite. I'm
I
actually
don't mean
quite.
to brag, but I play by wild card, and I seem to have a scene of excellence in front of me.
Well, it's not certainly not that. No. So my team at the moment, I'll just quickly run through. Vicario in goal, 4-4-2. Then so got Saliba and Gabriel at the back with Estupiñán and Pedro Porro. Midfield four of Bowen, Gordon, Saka, and Foden. And then Big Dom up front with Ollie Watkins. My bench then is Doughty for Luton.
Yeah,
I
good
mean,
player.
he's a good player, yeah, and he gets his, he was on my bloody bench last week when he got 5 points for the assist against Burnley, so that was a frustration. But he's first on my bench next to Palmer and Haaland. Probably the only one is Areola or Vicario. I'm going to go with Vicario because hopefully Bournemouth will score against West Ham. And Brentford at home, I like that fixture for Spurs. So, yeah, normally I have this headache, and what I've done wrong, two big errors this season for me is always get my captain wrong, normally get my bench picks wrong. So hopefully I might get it right this week.
Alfie Doughty. Let's call him Doughty.
Yeah, I think that's right.
let's call him Doherty. Right. So since game week 15, he's played Arsenal, City, Newcastle, Chelsea, and then he's also played Sheffield United and Burnley. In that time, he's kept only one clean sheet, but he's scored 8 points, 9 points, 7 points, 9 points, and 5 points.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it? Yeah. What's he got? 3 assists and a goal in those games. So he's getting forward, isn't he? Bombing down the left hand side. Luton, I love it. Their attitude to this is they are going for it.
Yeah, I love it.
And they're good. They're so good from set pieces. Again, they went to Goodison Park at the weekend and knocked Everton out of the FA Cup with 2 set pieces. So yeah, he'd probably be my only headache. But looking at who I've got there at the moment, I'm not sure because Brighton scored 5 against Sheffield United the weekend. João Pedro, is in form as well. So I cannot see Luton keeping the clean sheet. I think it's going to be a tricky game for him. So that's why I've gone with my other players. But normally there is a headache there.
Tempted to go Niles Barkley. Does that make me crazy?
Oh, where's the sound clip? No, again, what a! I'm so pleased for him actually because he reminded me a little bit of Dele Alli, only in terms of he obviously such a talent at Everton and then went to Chelsea, didn't work out, was in the doldrums for a while, but he's found his home now, isn't he? At Luton, he's doing really, really well. I watched the game recently where he was running the show in midfield, and he's in the points as well. So yeah, why not, mate? If you're one of the top 10 players in this game, you're not going to go from, are you? But we're not that. So
if you when you need to buy Salah back and Haaland back and Son, then budget midfielders. So who are you captaining this week, mate?
As it stands, and this is controversial, Big Dom, but that is my headache because West Ham away is a really, really hard game. But yeah, I've take the Liverpool game out recently for Bournemouth. We've looked good, certainly going forward. We scored 5 goals in the first half against Swansea last Thursday. So there's a goal in as Dom's due on having blank last 2. So I mean, from where I am in the league, where I am overall, my only real goal now is to try and get into the top million. So we're inside that. So yeah, why not?
Moyes has done an incredible job at West Ham. I mean,
he gets a lot of flack.
They're 6th and they're 3 points above 7th, which is Brighton. And they've in the last 5 games, 2 draws, 3 wins. They just quietly just get on with it.
They do. It's true. Yeah, they got knocked out of the FA Cup, of course, by Bristol City, but I think that was just a bit of a blip. But other than that, yeah, he just does the job, and he, like you say, no one really, notices it, or seemingly as soon as they do lose a game, then David Moyes comes under some pretty unjustified stick, in my opinion. But no, they've done brilliantly. So that's going to be a really hard game. But I still think and hope Bournemouth will score, and hopefully that man will be Big Dom.
Yeah, let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so. Have you got any other questions need answering this week?
I've got one of you, and it's a very important one this week. We haven't done this for a long, long time, and I know this is going to now make you scroll through the FPL website. Who's your punt this week?
Oh, yes. That is a great question. And let me just scroll through the FPL website. Hang on. Let's see. So this is where, do you want to explain it whilst I scroll?
Sure. So this is each week we pick a player with 2% or less ownership. I'm hoping they will haul, maybe a goal or an assist. If they do, that means we're exempt from potentially having our captain picked by a listener when we're hopefully all 3 of us next week. We'll be doing a quiz. But yeah, so you can play along on Twitter the X as it is now, as well for a bit of fun. So yeah, have you found someone yet, Phil?
I'm torn between 2 people we've spoken about already today, and that is Mickey van der Ven. Just because, hey Mickey, you're so fine. We don't really hear of many people called Mickey these days.
No.
And of course, Raul Jimenez. So, or Turbo Timo. Oh my goodness.
So much choice.
I think it's got to be young Timo. Look at his little smile on that page. Yeah, I'll go Timo Werner.
There is a man who is loving life at the moment. I'm going to go for Adebayo.
Tell you who could have, mate. 0.6% ownership.
Go on.
He scored absolutely loads this season. Harry Kane.
Pretty tempting. I love the fact he's still got 0.6% ownership. That's incredible. Talking about ghost teams, I'm going to go for Adebayo. I've never had a Luton punt, I don't believe, so why not this week? They are at home. They're quite good at Kenilworth Road, and he loves to score from a corner. So yeah, Adebayo, 1.1% ownership there, 4.8 million. He's my shout this week.
Love it, mate. Well, thanks for taking the time in your lunch break to come and record.
Ditto.
And now my head's more of a mess than it was. I was just happy to roll.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
pleased to help.
Mind games are always a bonus, aren't they?
Whatever happens, I'm sure you make the correct decisions, mate, because this is your time. This is your time of the season now.
No,
where
my time
you
of the season,
shine.
No, mine is game week 30 onwards, and I've just had a slightly early peak. But the downside to that is I'll have a slightly early collapse. So,
well, let's hope so, because it would be nice if someone other than you out of the three of us won. We know Mike, as good as the team as he seems to continue to pick. He did tell us, didn't he, on Saturday night when we saw him? He showed us our team and was bragging about it. He probably wasn't bragging about the fact that he's about 150 points behind you. But bless him.
I mean, I don't really understand what or how he's got to this situation yet again. So he is.
It happens every season, and it's his points. He cannot help himself. So me and you might go and look at FBL a couple of days before, maybe pick our team. We're happy, bang. During an active game week, Michael will already be picking transfers or doing transfers for the next game week, and potentially, as he's done several times, be buying in injured players and then having to take a -4 to get them back out.
I just don't understand what going back. So game weeks, I've just looked at Mike's team. Game week 16, 5 transfers. Game week 17, 3 transfers. Game week 18, 3 transfers. Game week 19, 2 transfers. Game week 20, 3 transfers. Game week 21, 3 transfers. And you think, Mike, what? I mean, so my daughter plays this game and she always captains Danny Ings, right?
Always.
So we're in the Friends and Family League. For some reason, she has no idea who he is, but she's always, for the past 3 years of her playing this, said, that's fine, but I'm captaining Danny Ings. I'll play it, but I'm captaining Danny Ings. I heard her the other day, I heard my wife talking to her, and she said, oh, you're quite close to Uncle Mike. And I was thinking, well, probably not. I mean, surely you can't be close to Uncle Mike. And lo and behold, she's not far behind him. And her team includes currently Jordan Pickford, Gavin Guehi. She starts Johnny Evans every week.
England's best defender.
Yeah. Cameron Archer. McAtee Bell. Yeah, I mean, and she...
This is only just behind Mike. This is incredible.
Best of all, Danny Ings got 10 points against Sheffield United.
I mean, let's just have a quick look. Yeah, I mean, she is actually only, 70 odd points behind, which, considering the team that she's got, is pretty nuts.
Good on her. Good on her.
Good, fair play to her. I mean, that would buff Mike.
She's gaining rapidly. I think the problem we've got is that Mike, I don't know whether he is going to really take his foot off the pedal here. I mean, in January, January form table's a bit null and void, really. So let's see. Oh, Anthony, you hit form in December. Yeah, Isla in our Friends and Family League in December. So she got 357 points. Mike got 330. Yeah, it's all going on.
Danny Ings as captain. Oh, if only he was here right now, this would be incredible.
Oh dear. Well, I'm sure he'll enjoy listening. Well, mate, we better go. I've got some Greek yogurt that's desperate to have some honey poured on it. So I'll be off. And
yes,
I'm playing football with you tonight. So I'll see you there.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you there. Yeah, it's good to be back. Have a good week, everyone.
Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.